yesterday, and we'll get into what happened over the course of the day, all the executive actions that were taken by President Biden. But that display on that stage, especially given what had happened there 2 weeks before, the utter chaos and the feelings that we had on that day of, my goodness, our democracy is under attack. Will it be left standing at the end of this day? Will there even be an inauguration? Well, I think the normalcy of that day yesterday was so important. It showed, yes, democracy is here. It's standing. As Joe Biden said in his speech of democracy and of America, this is its day. And that relationship that you talked about between the different presidents of different parties, many of whom had fierce disagreements. President Obama, of course, ran against the record of George W. Bush very explicitly. And he was shown grace by the Bush family, as he said in that moment last night at the Celebration of America TV special. He said, the Bush family showed me grace, and I learned a lot from that. And so to have this tableau of America out in front of us, frankly, just expressing normalcy and showing that the business of the country moves forward now, that the page actually has turned, was, I thought, a very important moment for this country, whatever party you're in.
Yeah.
And of course, Donald Trump came to power in part because of his lies about Barack Obama, his lies about him being from Kenya, not being born in America, not being qualified to be president of the United States. He loved showing those tweets where he was bashing Barack Obama time and time again. Well, Donald Trump was elected president of the United States, and President and Michelle Obama showed extraordinary grace and gave to the Trumps the same thing that the Bushes had given to them. Again, that is the exception. That is the rule. That's not the exception. And I think that's what's so important for us to remember. I'm just curious, Mika, what was over the past couple of days, was there a moment that you found most moving in the inauguration, something that gave you hope?
It was actually the night before, and it was at that ceremony where they recognized the 400,000 people who had died of the coronavirus, and everybody on television and absolutely everybody in the living room where we were watching it got choked up. And it was not just at the gravity of what had happened, the amount of death and destruction that had been, put on this country for all the reasons that we won't discuss right now, but that, my God, the sun is going to come up tomorrow with, no matter what side of the aisle you are on, with a new beginning for those who are suffering, whether they're fighting the coronavirus on the front lines, or if they've been stricken by it, their family has been stricken by it, or their business has been stricken by it. This past administration has been a setback in terms of our response to what has attacked this country, a virus, but also a setback for women and for minorities. And on day one, Joe Biden's administration has righted a lot of wrongs that people are feeling, whether it's reflected within his administration or within the plans that he has rolled out before he even stepped into the Oval Office. And that ceremony, for me, the fact that it was so simple and the fact that it was so beautiful and it just expressed empathy for 1 second, I started to feel it then.
Well, it's hard to believe, Willie, that actually was the first time that we had come together as a country to mourn the loss of 400,000 Americans. It would be as if we had gotten through 4 years of World War II with 400,000 people dying.
Never talked about it.
And never once talked about it as a nation, never once mourned together as a nation. And I remember that night that Mika's talking about, during that night when everybody was wiping tears from their eyes, as I guess just the accumulation of the suffering and the isolation and the fact that, again, no president had brought us together to mourn this extraordinarily tragic year.
To mourn it.
This extraordinarily tragic year that we had been through. There was something very cathartic about that. And I'll also say, too, Washington just looked different that night. The Capitol, the United States Capitol, which I remember the first time I went through the gates as a member and drove up right underneath the Capitol and looked up. It was really the most awe-inspiring thing. It was lit up at night, and I just gasped. It was the most beautiful building I'd ever seen. Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.